Welcome, traveler. You've just entered a place where the past wakes. And every nation's story is told as you've never heard before. Here, history becomes alive. And every chapter brings us closer to the truth of how our world was shaped. Tonight, our journey begins. It begins in darkness, somewhere between history and legend. A land vast and silent, waiting to be born. And tonight, I will take you back to a time when no one called it America. Look upon a world untouched, endless forests, wild rivers, towering mountains. A home to thousands of native tribes who lived here for generations. Running, laughing, hunting. But across the ocean, another world was burning. Europe drowned in war, sickness, and poverty. Streets were cold, hope was fading, and life for many had no meaning left. Yet inside smoky taverns, under candlelight, a whisper spread like fire. There is a new world, filled with land, gold, and second chances. Thousands stepped into the unknown. Ships lined the docks, supplies loaded, families crying their last farewells. All heading toward a journey with no promise of return. But the ocean showed no mercy. Storms roared, ships trembled, sails tore. And still, they pushed forward. Until one day, two worlds finally stood face to face. European ships drifted toward shore. And from the forests, the natives watched in silence. The first meeting was peaceful. Food exchanged for tools, curiosity for curiosity. But peace does not last forever. When settlers drew lines on maps, when greed took root, the spark was lit. And that spark became fire. War erupted, arrows against muskets, villages in flames. And the world would never be the same. Despite the chaos, the colonies grew. Winters were brutal, hunger unforgiving, and survival carried a price. Across the sea, the King of Britain tightened his grip. Tax after tax fell upon the people. Tea, sugar, paper. As if even the air had a cost. The people were furious. And fury marched straight into Boston Harbor. At night, angry colonists stormed the ships, throwing British tea into the freezing water. A message screamed into the darkness. Enough. To the king, this was treason. So he sent the might of the British army. Warships arrived, soldiers filled the streets. And Boston felt less like a home, and more like a prison. But in shadowy basements, under flickering candlelight, rebellion whispered, Washington, Adams, Jefferson. They were not heroes yet. Only men exhausted from being ignored. They argued, shouted, disagreed. But one idea united them all. Freedom. If they wanted freedom, they would have to fight for it. And so, the War of Independence began. Ordinary farmers, untrained and outnumbered, stood against the strongest army on earth. Winter struck harder than bullets. Soldiers froze, hunger spread, hope faded. But they never surrendered. Just when all seemed lost, help arrived from across the sea. France. With new allies, new strength, new hope, the tide began to turn. At Yorktown, the British were cornered. Cannons thundered, flags fell. And at last, victory. Families reunited, soldiers wept. And freedom finally felt real. Then came words that would shake the world. The Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal. Leaders signed their names. And on that day, a nation was born. The United States of America.